Okay, it's part 2 of the Paddington book. I don't know if you still have it, but it's the part 2 of the Paddington book. Wait, I'll be on sec. Ugh, I haven't got our book. So, this is here. I'll keep that for you. There. She looks after us. She's a bit fierce at times, but she doesn't really mean it. I'm sure you'll like her, Paddington. Paddington really mean it, but I'm sure you'll like her. Paddington felt his knees begin to wobble. I'm sure I shall if you say so, he replied. The thing is, will she like me? And so there, the bird's going to it. So that's and they're like, ooh, what's the bear doing? She's like, come on, and he's like, okay. That's them. There. And then the bird's like, oh, can I come in too? Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. What have you got there? I don't know what, said Julie. It's a bear called Paddington, and he's coming to stay with us. So they're like, yeah, can he? And the mom's like, can he? And they're like, yeah, he's coming to stay with us. He's like, hello. He's like, no. Yes. A bear, said Mrs. Bird. Paddington raised his hat. Well, he has good manners, I say that for him. And she's like, I'm running and I'm going to whisper something in your ear. He's like, what are they doing? And I like this bear so much. She's like, come upstairs, I'm going to give you a bath. Well, I don't know that. That's a spoiler to get a bath. I'm afraid I stepped on jam by mistake, said Paddington. I can see that, said Mrs. Bird. You need better have a bath before you're very much older, Judy, and can turn it on for you. I dare say. Let's get away from that. You'll be wanting some marmalade too. I think she likes you, whispered Judy. She said, so I know who was going to whisper. I knew it. So here he is scrubbing the window with soap. That's how you take a bath. Paddington had never been in a bathroom before, and while the water was running, he made himself at home. First of all, he tried writing his new name in the steam of the mirror. Paddington, he tried to write it. And this is him here with the soap again. Then he used Mr. Brown's shaving foam to draw a map. Oh, I thought that was it. Of Peru on the floor. It wasn't until a drip landed on his head that he remembered what he was supposed to be doing. I know, man, you're supposed to be going in the bath. That's him here splashing about, making the bathroom dirty as anything. Yikes. What are you up to, mister? What are you up to, mister? What are you up to? He soon discovered that getting into a bath is one thing, but it's quite another matter getting out again, especially when it's full of soapy water. Look at me, he's like, oh my God, I can't get out. Oh, help me someday. Someone please help me. Oh, I'm gonna go for a nap in this bath. Paddington tried calling out help, help at first, and then a quiet voice so as not disturb any annoying, then very loud, help, help. There he's like, oh, that's him drowning. He's getting all the water out of his hat. I didn't think that's going to happen. When that didn't work, he began bailing the water out with his hat. But the hat had several holes in it, and this map of Peru soon turned into a sea of foam. That's him like, oh no. I don't want the map of Peru to go, no. It's just him there. He's like, oh, I'll blow dry your hair. Well, that's getting the plug out, and she's like, oh, no. Let me carry him out, and look at all the mess he's made. Whoa. Yeah, but I do like the back bit. It's good wall. Why is that bottle empty? You don't just throw it on the ground, it has to be empty. Why is that sponge there? And what's on it? Everywhere, what's that? Well, I'll tell you, that's the mirror. That's Paddington's hat. That's the bin. Well, that's a can. That's a foot. That's another foot. That's another foot. That's another foot. That's a pickle. See a pickle. And it looks like a sponge because of the bottom, but don't mind pickle. Unicorn bit and but let's see what it was again. I want to go back and see what it was again. Don't tell them. No. Don't tell me, no. Marmalade. That's marmalade. There's actually water. See that scrubs? That's actually a thing, because I can't feel it. That's the actual thing in the book. I've not been scratching it when I was little, because I've had it since like I've been 2. Suddenly, Jonathan and Judy burst into the bathroom and filled at dripping Paddington into the floor. Thank goodness you're all right, cried Judy. We heard you calling out. Fancy making such a mess, said Jonathan. Admirably. You should have pulled the plug out. See? Oh, said Paddington, I never thought of that. Look at you, of course you're not going to think of that. Jesse's not furrier. Well. When Paddington came out downstairs, he looked so clean. No one could possibly be cross with him, and his fur was all soft and sickly. His nose gleamed, and his paws had lost traces of the jam and cream. There he is. He's all freshly done with his hat. Wait, I don't even know if he has a hat. Yes, he does have a hat again. And that's his coat? Yep. That's not all go off. The Browns made room for him in the small armchair, and Mrs. Bird brought him a pot of tea and a plate of hot buttered toast and marmalade, like usually. Oh yeah, bro, you just sit down. I got you a hot plate of marmalade. You're gonna burn your hands on it now. Bloody burn your hands on it. See there's blood on it? Yeah. And they're like, that's so cool. Oh, I want him to burn his hands. He's like, oh, thank you. He's like, oh, make sure you burn your hands, and I'll make sure I burn my hands on this coffee. And they're like, I'll make sure I burn my hands on this coffee because my mom and dad treat me like I'm a 27-year-old, and because I get coffee. No kid that age would get coffee. He's like, with those tears. But it's actually just water left. Now, said Mrs. Brown, you must tell us all about yourself. I'm sure you must have had. I've changed all the voices like 50 times. Had lots of adventures. The armchair happening to me. I'm that sort of a bear. He settled back in the armchair. I was brought up by my Aunt Lucy in Darkest Peru. He began, but she had to go into a home for retired bears in Lama. He closed his eyes and thoughtfully, and a hush fell over the room as everyone waited. And this is them all watching Paddington to their sleep like creepy people. They're all creepy because they're just staring at him sleeping. And she's like, I might keep staring at him because I'm really creepy. And they're like, I love him. I'm going to just stare at him. She's like, I love him. I'm just going to stare at him. He's another kid of ours. They're like, oh, yeah, I've got another brother. That's what she's like. Oh, I've got another brother. Brother. Because, like, that's the boy. Paddington's the boy. Well, we don't really know. If you didn't know what Pennywise was, it's a girl. That's pretty weird because the actor's a boy, so I thought it was a boy. Alright, let's get into the last page, and then we're done. This is him sleeping on the armchair with his hat. After a while, when nothing happened, they began to get restless. Mr. Brown tried quoting, then he reached across and poked Paddington. "Well, I never," he said. "I do believe he's fast asleep. Is it any wonder?" There's Paddington there. Let's note. You can get this book on Amazon or that. It's called Paddington. And it's illustrated by, and her saying it was. So yeah, guys, hope you like this book. Go and watch my first part before you watch this part. Okay, bye.